Well, today we're going to be back to work on JD's 1959 Ford Custom sedan. We're going to start actually by working on this cab and chassis you saw me pick up. And we're going to get this thing running while it's sitting here on the truck, just to make it a little easier on us. So JD's yanking plugs right now, because if you remember right, I filled the cylinders with tranny fluid, and we're going to have to wind it over to clean them out. But she should run. So he hooked up a oil pressure gauge to it so we can keep an eyeball on that. Does it have a coil on it, Jay? Oh, it does. It has a coil. Alright. I found this fuel pump block-off plate, and that's just going to keep it from making a mess.
This one's pumping out transmission fluid.
Yeah. I filled them up big time. It's going to make a hell of a mess when we get it fired up, or when we start winding it. But it was a little bit sticky when I rolled it over, just to make sure we didn't break a ring or something. Gave JD this old school AC gap gauge here so we can gap the plugs. It's got this little clip, you can clip it on your shirt. It's got a file built into it for cleaning points and stuff. So since obviously we covered these in ATF, I'm just gonna wipe them off, hit them with a wire wheel a little bit. Well, that cleaned up pretty good actually. Those are still good. Now you know how to gap them?
Yeah.
Alright. Put them at 35. You know how to use the bending part?
Bendy, right?
Yep. See, I guess it's too small, right? So 35 doesn't really want to fit. Take this hook here, hook it like that, and just give it a little bit of a tug. It's worth cleaning up all these old plugs here, because spark plugs cost way too much money. We're just going to reuse all these. Plus, added benefit is, you know, these are American made, and they'll actually last for another 60 years, as opposed to ones that are bad out of the box, you know, from Laumanistan. That is one set of brand new plugs, refurbished, just like J.C. Whitney used to sell. This thing got tweaked, you know, whenever we were loading it up, so I'm gonna take it off. Probably keep us from slicing our arms off too. Always an added benefit. Oh, that's a goofy setup. I like it though. Cool. That bolts on separately. It's kind of genius. That's some good Ford engineering actually. We're gonna drop the oil on it. Well, JD's gonna drop the oil on it, because I don't have to get gross. Use the box end. Go down a little bit more so you get some leverage.
Yeah.
Well, go on and get under here. Come on.
I'm not trying to get disgusting.
Oh, come on. You're a car guy now. You have to be disgusting. Can't get it?
No.
Let me try it.
Alright.
I just didn't think it would be that bad. Oh, shit. Yeah. Well, I see why you couldn't get it. Ow.
You want a wrench?
No, it's loose now.
Oh, okay.
It rained this morning. That's why we wanted to jump on this and get this done. Please don't be too much. Do you know why there's water coming out, JD?
Because we didn't cover it?
Well, yes, partially, but it's because oil sits on top of water.
Oh, yeah.
There's the oil. Actually, that oil's really clean. Look at that. That oil's literally new. That's kind of scary, actually. It is literally brand new oil. That's not necessarily a good thing. Why is there brand new oil in it? In a parts truck. The oil is brand new. That filter? Definitely not. You're tightening it.
Oh. How are you supposed to?
The other way. Oh, come on, give it, come on, get it.
I'm bending the thing.
Come on, just, come on, get it. Get it. Oh, you got it, it's moving. See, you got the strength. Oh, you're tight. Sorry, I told you wrong. Good night. Hell, it tightened easier and it didn't give off. There you go. There you go. Sorry, I told you to turn it the wrong direction. Oh, that's not a good sign. There's nothing in it. Oh, God. Get a little of the old oil. Put it around that O-ring. Seal her up. Now just thread it on. Lefty tighty, righty loosey. Get it on as tight as you can with your hands. Maybe we'll get it as tight as I can with my hand. There we go. Get under there and put the drain plug back in. If you don't hurry up, we're gonna lose the shop.
Oh no.
The shop is going, and it's gone.
What the?
Ew. Oh, yeah, use one of my good Klein screwdrivers for that. Yeah.
It's
Great.
long.
That's cool. No, they're only like 20 bucks a piece. It's fine. Oh wow, there's actually a lot more fluid in there, isn't there? Ooh. Boy, I sure know how to pick them, I tell you what.
The oil looks like coffee. It's got chunks in it.
Yeah, don't go whole hog on it, alright? Just like half hog.
Yeah.
Did you know that Fords come with a built-in oil jug opener? Don't spill it. Don't spill. We can't afford it. Don't spill it. Mixing that STP in there with the Earl vice grip style. I will unabashedly say that I have stolen that from him. It's probably the best thing I've learned from his channel. Mix that in there, mix it up in the oil, and it goes down the gullet a lot easier. Come on, shake it. Yeah, sounds good. I can tell. It's totally viscous now. Isn't that stuff like goo?
Yeah, it is.
See all the vitamins in there now? See them?
Yeah.
Taste them?
Taste them.
Yeah, they taste pretty good.
You eat them?
Yeah. There's vitamins.
Okay.
That's good for you.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I'll just drink some of this.
Just tip that up and leave it sitting in there while we do our rest of our things here. Or not. Maybe it won't let you do that.
There.
Okay.
Probably fall over, but
Probably will. I will. At least get all that, you know, liquid gold in there. With our battery, we should just be able to ground the engine. Pick a likely spot like, well, I don't know, probably like this maybe. Nope, not that. If we touch this, it should work. That's a really terrible sign. It's rolling, but it won't crank. Maybe it needs some tickling. Let's roll it over by hand a little. Maybe it's just in a bad spot. No, stop. Dude, I swear it rolled over. Something else is going on. It was rolling with the starter too. Is that moving it?
yeah, yeah.
Needs more ass. Literally do not understand how that's possible. Let me yank the starter off, thinking it may have been jamming it up. that's not the case. I can't help but think there's something else holding this thing up. I don't think it's rusted up, because it was turning. We've turned it about a fourth of a turn. It could be a bearing, I guess, but I don't know. There's not a lot here to indicate that to me. So we would normally just yank the bell housing off and see what's going on back there, but Ford, in their infinite wisdom, decided, oh, well, let's just bolt the engine down with the bell housing. It's absolute genius. We're gonna pop the inspection cover off and see what's in there. We're done asking nicely. I'm assuming, winding this up like a pull start on a lawnmower will work, right?
Yeah, it just ripped off.
Figures. It didn't even try to spin, did it? This engine sucks. We bolted the transmission back to it to try to use that to break it free. No. So we chained the pry bar to the truck. No. This has turned into a fiasco. The level of desperation has increased a great deal. We have now reassembled the entire drive line of the truck in the hopes that we can force it into gear and drag it around until the engine breaks free. Because that's all I got. So, we're just gonna push it off into the trees. We could put a block behind the wheel. Here.
Oh, yeah.
It'll at least slow it down a little bit. I couldn't have used this.
Oh, yeah, no.
No.
Wait, actually use that, though.
It's got a lot of pressure on it for some reason. See you later, bitch. No. Oh. Didn't think about that.
Uh-oh.
That X. Well, that's either first or reverse. Guess we'll find out. Give up. We're gonna yank this thing and I guess go through it, because I'm tired of buying junk engines, so I guess we'll just break down and try to do it a halfway right wrong way. To prevent it from sliding, I'm gonna engineer something here to keep it from sliding down the pole, which is kind of a problem. That will work for sure. Or not. Go. didn't see that. Alright, let's take her to the shop. Ordered us a engine stand from Jags since we got this sucker ripped out. We're going to put it on the engine stand and tear into it, see what it holds inside, and hope for the best, because I'm not feeling real strong about it, not going to lie to you. So we're going to attempt to throw this together, throw the instructions away. Yeah, that's good. Okay, now we can put it together. Pile of bushing out of there. There's a tool for this. I know this isn't how you're supposed to do it. I was just telling him, anytime you mount these things up, and I know my track record with mounting them up, you want the center of this to be as close to the camshaft as possible. The cam is generally the middle of the engine. Now you can play with it. What size are those? 5/8?
Yeah, I guess, yeah.
Bigger than 9/16, right?
Yeah.
That, I guess?
That's pretty centered, but... That's pretty good.
Pretty good? Jack it up.
Yep.
Okay, let it down slow.
Alright.
Looks good. So this looks a lot better than that 383 on the engine stand. So, I don't know if it's safe or not, but I guess we'll find out. I really don't like this layout here, but there's no other option. So I guess that's better than making it way top, I guess. Hell, I don't know. Next thing we're doing is tearing into this.
Alright, so we're going to take off the carburetor, we're going to take off the intake, the exhaust manifolds. So there's the carburetor. Still got more to go. This is the right size, and it just spins. I don't know why, because it works perfectly fine on the other ones. But I'll have to get a different socket, I guess. Oh, here's the exhaust manifold. That bolt was kind of an issue, but overall it came out pretty easy. This bolt right here, I don't think it's gonna come out. It's like rounded off all the way. I mean, I tried everything basically, and I can't get that one out, but I'll get the other ones. since the exhaust manifolds won't work and the bolt's stuck, I'd say we take off the intake.
Alright, so he's going to take the valve cover off now. I just came back out here from doing a live with you guys.
Crazy, the other one was not stuck on like this. There we go. Clean.
Pulling the distributor now?
Yeah.
You keep working on that motor, boy. Get that motor torn apart, okay?
Okay.
Get it fixed up right. Work it back and forth. This. Like that. Now you can pull it out. Watch that spring so it doesn't fall in. It's got a phenolic carb spacer on it. We're not going to use that distributor anyway, but might as well keep it for a spare.
Yeah.
I don't suppose you tried to roll the engine over, did you?
No.
Because it looks very clean in here, actually.
Yeah, it does.
It does not look like an engine that's stuck.
In here it's pretty bad, but there's stuff.
Yeah, there's a lot of rust in there. Shoot.
Oh yeah, you said you had taken these.
So you just take off. So these, you're really supposed to put them back where they came from. If we're going to try to reuse the cam and stuff, they'll be all right, I think.
And we could just write 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 8, and then
on
label
just these 1, 2, 3, with maybe a piece of masking tape.
them. Yeah. Like
Okay.
write 8 and then 1, 2, 3.
Well, you'd start here. I think this is number 1.
Yeah.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So you could do that.
Okay.
JD's got a stubborn bolt here that I will delete for him. This thing's amazing. This was sent by Jeff Powers just as a gift, and really appreciate that, man. Boy, this thing's cool as hell. Yep.
So we're done labeling everything, so we know where the push tubes go.
You want to label the push tubes because they wear to the tappet and to the bottom of the rocker arm. You want to keep them mated, whichever one they came off of. Does it actually matter? I don't know. But it's better to play it safe than sorry sometimes. In that same interest, we're going to be labeling the rocker shafts left and right. Those rocker arms go to a valve in the head, right?
Yeah.
So this push tube gets pushed off the camshaft, opens this rocker arm, and this is an exhaust valve because it's lined up with the exhaust port. This is an intake valve because it's lined up with the intake port. So this is your number 5 exhaust valve. This is your number 5 intake valve. Okay? But these are a shaft mounted rocker, meaning these keepers on the end, they hold them all together.
Oh.
So you don't have to take them off individually. You just take out those 4 bolts, the whole thing comes off.
Oh.
There's no adjusting them, nothing. Chrysler and Oldsmobile, Buick, I'll use those. I gotta say, this engine looks pretty clean inside. It's not bad so far. JD pulled all the push tubes out after labeling them. And we have to remove them to pull the intake because Ford and all their amazingly infinite wisdom, on FE engines, the intake is actually part of the cylinder head. Absolutely, I mean, total genius. I mean, why would you just make it like everybody else? So you have to run these tubes through here, and so you have to take apart the whole upper end of the engine to change an intake. No problem. Rusted to it.
Yep, or something, I don't know.
Where's that screwdriver? Worst screwdriver I own.
It's not the worst.
There we go. We'll just pull the intake.
Yeah.
I'm going to handle the intake because these FE intakes weigh about 5,000 pounds, approximately. Oh my god. Shit. Oh, look at all the rust in the cylinders. You see the rust? It's not a good sign. That didn't just happen. It was uncovered for quite a while. And these rougher looking cylinders, I'm gonna pour some CVT trans fluid in them. It's on the back side of that intake valve. Maybe help them out a little bit. Let's let a little bit of it in, huh? This is no doubt a lesson in frustration for JD. It's good, because it'll teach you that you never give up on things, right? Mm-hmm. Even if they suck, and even if they're a Ford, everything deserves a second chance. So we're going to yank the heads off. That'll probably be where we stop here, but at least we can find out what's inside of this thing. Start in the middle and work your way out.
Okay.
Is that one good?
Oh, yeah.
Can you give me a pry bar? Oh yeah, a lot of rust and bugs and everything else in there. Good news and bad news. Good news is there's still cross-hatching in these cylinders, and there's like no ring ridge. The bad news is it's got two pretty wasted ones. Got this one here, number 6, and we got, this was the worst one over here. We got number 3 over here, is pretty bad. But I don't think it's outside of the realm of possibility of being able to dingle ball hone this. We might get lucky here, because most of this stuff, if you just rub, it's coming off. We might get lucky. I don't want to get too excited yet, but let's see what we can do with it. I just tried to roll it over and it still is not going to bud. So we've got 2 options here basically. We can emery cloth up what we can see in the cylinder, and then we would pour something in there to try to penetrate down over the piston and let it set for a week. Mm-hmm. Or we just disassemble it, take it apart, slam it back, dingle ball it, slam it back together. I mean, it really won't cost that much more to do, as long as the crank looks like it's in good shape.
I say that we could take it apart and
that would be the
thoroughly look.
It would not be the right way to do it, but it would be the gooder way to do it. Mm-hmm. But you guys can see if I just scoop some of this out. We got tons of this rust is already coming out, just with some light scrubbing. Oh, there's a bore mark. Now we got to measure the bore.
Oh.
She's been punched 40. It's possible, right here, this 40 here is just a part number or something, but I bet that means she's been popped 40 over, and that would explain why on the good cylinders they're pretty good actually. Let me get a caliper and measure the bore. It's gonna clean that real bad one up with the Scotch-Brite. Stay flat. I just like when I do these, just kind of put the whole thing in here.
Okay.
You know, put all the way around.
I never thought that would keep an engine from stop.
Okay, just one would do it. You got 2. Is it cleaning up?
Oh yeah.
Well, we might get lucky. I'm trying to think of what we could use to pour in there. I don't really have much on hand.
You don't have any like PB Blaster. You could go get some, I guess.
Yeah. You're gonna have to do something.
Oh no.
I'm just gonna have to whip up the concoction. How's she looking? Your mom's gonna be so pissed at me.
It's not. I bet if we soak it down and keep...
Yeah, maybe. It's pitted pretty bad, dude.
It is?
Yeah, it is. She's probably not going to run at the top of her game.
Oh, yeah, no.
JD's cleaned this boar up pretty good, just with some sandpaper and a Scotch-Brite. It's not great, but it might be worth a shot to see if she'll spin. While he's cleaning the rest of that up, I'm going to whip up a little concoction. What I have on hand is a little bit of CVT fluid and some power steering fluid. Basically, I'm just going to mix that with lacquer thinner, and it should make some kind of a penetrating lubricant. I probably need a funnel. Nope, winging it. Oh. 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 Boom. Now we'll just add a little thinner to it. Instant penetrating lube. There we go. I might just let that work on that for a bit. Let's put a little bit of vinegar in some of these, and whenever he's sanding, it'll kind of work the vinegar in too. Wow, that turned that tranny fluid all kinds of sparkly. Huh, maybe I should mix that into the penetrating sauce. Stinks, doesn't it?
Yeah, it does.
Wish we could have got lucky and had the rusty cylinders both on the same side. Then we could have leveled it off and then filled both of them up at the same time. See if we got anything. Jeez. Well, looks like we're tearing it down. Dang bees. Yeah, have some of that. I'll spray down the valves.
Oh, yeah. Spray them.
Yeah, on the inside. Yeah. The good thing is I filled all those with training fluid yesterday.
Yeah.
And they all held their fluid, so I think the heads are probably okay.
Oh.
Like, to run as is. I'm not gonna lie, my homemade penetrating lube is burning my skin.
Oh.
Pretty cool.
What?
What the hell? And see guys, when I say that this thing is dingle-ballable, what I really mean is it's not at all. But that is what's going to happen. See, that's the difference here. There's, you know, fixable, and then there's we can fix it. We learn a lesson on, you know, sometimes things are just awful.
Yeah.
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 But that's okay. You power through it, and we'll just keep working until we get it done. There's no such thing as giving up. Normally I wouldn't work on anything without him, but I need to get in at the lower end of this thing to see what the crank is, so I could go ahead and start ordering some parts. Let's roll this sucker over. Oh, I tried to. Of course. You didn't see that. Good Lord. Fat son of a gun. That ain't gonna work. Jeez almighty. Oh, the lifters. Woo! We got lucky. Anytime you're trying to reuse an old cam and lifters, much like the push rods and stuff that you're supposed to, you know where they came from, it's very important that you at least return the lifters to the same lobe they were riding on before. That is very critical if you're going to try to do that. You're not going to get away with it by swapping them around. They sell things for this. Or you just get you a piece of cardboard, get you a big old step bit. I'm doing the simple driver's passenger side. You know, this will be the front. I don't care where they go or the specifics. Drill you 16 holes. Really, the fact that these lifters are even coming out bodes pretty well for at least the mileage of this engine, although it's obviously not in very good shape. But the fact that they come out, is a flat tappet lifter has a tendency to, mushroom, basically. They don't want to come back out. These all look really good. Somebody rebuilt it about 1 million years ago, but they did rebuild it. Alright, we're all good to go here. And we are all set for that. We can put those away safely. Now we can try to roll this sucker over again. Oh! Ow. It hurt. This engine stand's about a piece of crap. God. I don't think JD was going to be able to do that. Well, this is particularly vile and horrible. Probably should have hit it with the power washer first. Oh, there's a bolt here. Where's it at? There it is. Out you go. Out you go. Out you go. Drum roll, please. Huh. It looks perfectly fine. It's just some sludge, really. It's not... It's actually remarkably clean. Kind of got to hand it to Ford here. This is a fully skirted block. It's one of the things that makes an FE engine actually a pretty dang tough motor. You can see that the skirt of the block is the same height as all the main caps. It makes for a very stout lower end. So what I'm going to do now is just kind of wiggle all these rod caps. Looking for a loose one. It looks real good in here. Get a little movement on this one right here. And it's definitely a lot of play, but there's no up and down movement, which by the Dingle Ball Rebuilder's Guide to Engines means it's fine. I mean, at a glance, you can see everything's nice and coated in oil. I mean, there's nothing like that concerning going on here. What I'm going to do now is zip off a main cap and a rod cap just to look, and I'll probably take all the mains loose and see if the engine rolls over, just to rule out a bearing failure somewhere. Bearing is brand new. Look at that. Crank has been polished. Let's roll the bearing out. Sometimes you can persuade these a bit with a screwdriver. Just got to be careful. What are we looking at? Standard mains. Standard mains. Alright, so she got a polish on the mains, but not turned. And I would say if they cut it at all, they would have cut both. It would have gone 10-10 at least. But it didn't. So we'll put that back. It's not particularly important, like which one we grab. Let's just grab one that we can get to. Oil sump makes a handy bolt tray. Sometimes you gotta give them a little persuasion. Dang. Come on now. That bearing is also basically new. Journal. It's got very little damage, if any. I would just run it. And standard. So we are a standard crank, 40 over. Likely somebody else has done a dingle ball build of their own. And that's okay. Millions of engines were built that way or rebuilt that way over the years. And it's only lately that we've become obsessed with everything has to be within exact tolerances. When you put these back on, by the way, always go tang to tang. We'll probably put new bearings in it anyway. So what I'm going to do now is loosen all the main caps in it. Now that we know that at least at a glance, it's probably okay. But we can rule out something catastrophic being wrong if we just simply loosen up the main caps. If we loosen them up and the engine suddenly rolls over freely, then we again know that it was one of those and we need to look a little bit closer. See what the old semi-auto's got in her. Boy, that one is, I mean, it's the rear main. It's supposed to be a little tighter, but a lot tighter. Oh, that's right. The rear main on these is huge. Yeah. All right. Now, will you roll over? No. No, you might flip over, but not roll over. Now, real quick, before I get a whole bunch of, oh, you're teaching him to do it the wrong way, that needs to go to a machine shop. Those cylinders are terrible. Yes, I am. However, think about it like this. Let's say he was 16, and let's say that, you know, maybe I wasn't as fortunate as I am to have some money to play with. What would he do? Just not have a car? No, he wouldn't. You know what he'd do? He might be able to scrape up the $250 for a set of rings and some bearings and toss it together and get back on the road a little bit, you know? There's nothing wrong with doing it that way. It's not like it's going to hurt it. What's it going to do? Make it need bored out? It already needs bored out. Is it maybe a waste of $200 and some dollars? Maybe, but if you get 10,000 miles out of it, that's pretty cheap mileage. You know, back in the day, Gomer Piles across this whole country rebuilt millions of engines that way with well, not even a ball hone back then, stone hones, and some memory cloth, slap it back together. It works. It worked back then. It's not the best. It's not precise. But, so what? It's teaching him how to make do with little, which then enables you to be able to make do with a lot down the road. I'm not going to go any further with this. I'm going to leave the rest for JD so he can do it. But at least I know what to buy now, and that's really all I wanted to do. But had to go a little further. Now that it's upside down, we can soak the cylinders from the other side, and that might help some. So me and him will see you again next time. And now I'm going to start on the Road Runner again.